Good day, Santagueñans, especially to our beloved students, parents, guardians, and listeners. You are tuned in to WMN 98.1 FM. Once again, this is your school on the air in MAPE Grade 9. I am so glad that you are tuned in with your new favorite school on the air through radio. Today, let us get fit and join me in a 30-minute discussion in the world of physical education. I am your PE teacher broadcaster, Raymar Rakasopnet of Kaanamungan National High School. Are you ready for our lesson today? Make it sure that you are in your most comfortable place, willing to learn and actively participate during activities. This is your radio PE teacher on the air, Raymar Rakasopnet of Kaanamungan National High School. First, let me remind you on some things how you can engage with our lesson and make it interactive. First, find a learning area that is well lit and well ventilated. Second, make sure that you have the following materials within your reach: ballpen or pencil, paper or notebook, your compendium of notes, and your written works. Alright, I think that you are now ready for our lesson in physical education. Let us begin with a recap in our lesson on the air last week. We discussed the different neoclassical and romantic period artists together with their famous works of art. We are done with our topic in music and arts for the second quarter. Today, we will be discussing physical education, the third component of MAPE. Before we proceed with our lesson, let us start with a simple warm-up exercise. Can you still recall the basic warm-up exercises that you have already learned during your PE class in grade 7? Now, I want you to stand up and find a place for our warm-up. Are you ready? Let us take the warm-up exercise. Just follow my instruction. Let us start with inhale, exhale. Now, I would like you to inhale, then exhale. Next, let us do the neck stretch. So bend your head forward and slightly to the right. With your right hand, gently pull your head downward to stretch your neck. Hold it for about 16 counts. Then, repeat it on the opposite side.
DJ Jonel sa Gyno Remix.
Next is the shoulder rolls. Stand in upright position. Roll shoulders in circular motion forward. Go.
This is Group Digliano.
also the backward position for circular motion. Shoulder roll. Go. Next is the hip circles. Stand in upright position, hands on your waist, and do a circular motion clockwise.
DJ Jonel sa Gyno Remix.
Then, do also counterclockwise. Next is march.
This is group
Do a stationary march for 16 counts. Next is high knees. This is like stationary jogging, but knees should be higher. So I know that you can do it. Go! Very good. I think you are already warmed up. Today, you will be learning about festival dances. Festival dances are cultural dances performed to the strong beats of percussion instruments by a community of people sharing the same culture, usually done in honor of a patron saint or in thanksgiving of a bountiful harvest. Festival dances may be religious or secular in nature. But the best thing about festivals is that they add to the merry-making and festivities where they are celebrated. The reason why they are called festival dances after all. Festival dances draw the people's culture by portraying the people's ways of life through movements, costumes, and implements inherent to their place of origin. Some of the famous festivals in the country include Sinulog of Cebu, Tinagyang of Iloilo, Ati-Atihan of Kalibo Aklan, Boyogan and Lingayan of Leyte, Bangus of Dagupan, Tinalak of South Cotabato, Maskara of Bacolod City, Bambanti of Isabela, and Kadayawan of Davao. Many others, especially from Luzon, are now paving their way to join the country's festivals of festivals. The Aliwan Fiesta, which is done in the month of April. Filipinos do festivals primarily to celebrate. There are a multitude of reasons for this reason. We celebrate our unity amidst the diversity of cultures, and we celebrate our industry, bringing out a bountiful harvest. Festivals have been a consistent crowd-producing activity leading to the upliftment of a community's economy due to its tourism and entertainment value. Basically, festivals are a form of entertainment that attract foreign and domestic tourists to visit a place, eventually leading to the elevation of the Filipinos' quality of life. Whatever festival we celebrate, be it done to honor a religious icon or celebrate our industry, festival dances are a reflection of the unity of Filipino community that despite the economic, social, environmental, cultural, and political challenges we face every day, there can be no other race more resilient than ours. As mentioned earlier, festivals may either be religious, in honor of a certain religious icon, or secular or non-religious, in thanksgiving or celebration of people's industry and bountiful harvest. The following are some of the said festivals. Let us start with religious festivals. First is Sinulog Festival of Cebu City. The religious figure honored is Santo Niño and is celebrated during the month of January. Dinagyang Festival of Iloilo City. Religious figure is the Santo Niño and also celebrated during the month of January. Ati-Atihan Festival of Kalibo Aklan. Religious figure honored is also the Santo Niño and is also celebrated during the month of January. Next is Peña Franca. The place of origin is Bicol. Religious figure honored is the Virgin Mary and celebrated during the month of September. Next is the Gigantes Festival of Angono Rizal. Religious figure is Saint Clement and celebrated during November. Next festival is the Longanisa Festival of Vigan City, Ilocos Sur. Religious figure is Saint Paul and celebrated during January. Next festival is Kinabayo Festival of Dapitan City. Religious figure honored is James the Great and celebrated during July. Next is Pintados de Pasig. Place of origin is Pintados City, Iloilo, and religious figure honored is also Santo Niño and celebrated during March. Next is the Pataraday Festival of Santiago City. Religious figure honored is Señor Santiago and celebrated during the month of May. So the last for the religious festivals is the Sangyao Festival of Tacloban City. Religious figure honored is the Santo Niño and celebrated during the month of July. Let us proceed with the secular or non-religious festivals. First on the list is the Bangus Festival of Dagupan, Pangasinan. Industry is the milkfish and celebrated during April to May. Next is the Bambanti Festival of Isabela. Industry is the scarecrow or farming and celebrated during January. Next is the Mambangi Festival of the city of Iligan for corn industry and celebrated during May. Next one is the Mango Festival of Iba Zambales. Industry is mango and celebrated during April. Next is the well-famous Panagbenga Festival of Baguio City. The industry is the flower industry and celebrated during February. Next is the Ibon-Ebon Festival of Pampanga. The industry is the migratory birds egg, or this is also for egg industry, celebrated during the month of February. Next is the Mascara Festival of Bacolod City. Industry is the mask or sugar industry and celebrated during October. Next one is the Tinalak Festival. It is from Coronadal, Cotabato. The industry is their colorful abaca and celebrated during January. Next secular festival is the Amungan Festival of Nueva Vizcaya. Industry is the gathering of tribal industries and celebrated during May. And the last on the list for non-secular festivals is Binatbatan Festival of Bigan, Ilocos Sur. The industry is the weaving industry and it is celebrated during the month of May. This time, let us recall the basics in folk dancing that you have learned in grade 7 and 8 during the 4th quarter. Let us start with locomotor movements. So these are movements that allow you to move from one point in space to another. It is canned from the two words locos, which means place, and motor, which means movement. So they include the following preparatory movements. First is step. This is the basis of all locomotor movements. It prepares you to move in any direction you wish to go. It is identified as transfer of weight from one foot to the other. Try 1. Stand with your feet or stand with your weight equally distributed to both of your feet. Now, let your right foot carry it all. So you got it. That's what you call a step. Next is walk. A walk is a series of steps executed by both of your feet alternately in any direction. In executing a walk, observe that there's this moment when both feet are in contact with the ground while one foot supports the weight and transfer it to the other. Next is run. A run is a series of walks executed quickly in any direction wherein only one foot stays on the ground while the other is off the ground. Next one is jump. This movement is simply described by having both feet loose in its contact with the ground. So there are 5 ways to do it. First, take off from one foot and land on the same. Second, take off from one foot and land on the other. Next is take off from one foot and land on both feet. Fourth is take off from both feet and land on one foot, and the fifth one is take off from both feet and land on both. Now, let us proceed to non-locomotor movements. So these are movements that are performed in one point in space without transferring to another point. They don't allow you to move from one place to another. These movements include the following. First is the flexion. It is the act of decreasing the angle of a joint. Another term for flexion is bend. If you bend a joint, like your elbow or knee, you are performing flexion. Next is extension. This is the opposite of flexion. You are extending if you are increasing the angle of a joint. Stretching is another word for extension. Next is contraction, a muscle movement done when it shortens, narrows, and tightens using sufficient amount of energy in the execution. Next is release, a muscle movement opposite to contraction done when it let goes or let loose of being held into a shortening movement. Next is collapse, to deliberately drop the exertion of energy into a body segment. Next is recover. Recover is the opposite of collapse. This is to regain the energy exerted in a body segment. Next one is rotation. To rotate is to move body segment, allowing it to complete a circle with its motion. It's not only limited to circumduction, which is done in a ball and socket joints. Rotation can also be done in wrists, waist, knees, and ankles. Next is twist. To move a body or body segment from an axis halfway front or back or quarter to the right or left, as in the twisting of the neck, allowing the head to face right or left, and the like. Next is pivot. To change the position of the feet or any body part that carries the body's weight, allowing the body to face in a less than 360 degrees turn. And the last one is turn. Turn is to move in a turning movement with a base of support, usually a pointed foot. The other raised, while equilibrium is maintained until the completion of the turn. Now, let us see if you have learned something from our lesson today. I want you to take a sheet of paper and determine which is the place of origin of the different festivals that I am going to mention. Number 1 is Bambanti Festival. Number 2, Bangus Festival. Number 3, Ati-Atihan Festival. Number 4, Sinulog Festival. Number 5, Mango Festival. Number 6, Dinagyang Festival. Number 7, Panagbenga Festival. Number 8, Pataraday Festival. Number 9, Mascara Festival. And lastly, for number 10, Tinalak Festival. So are you done? So for your convenience, I will be repeating all of the questions so that you can check if your answer is correct. Number 1, Bambanti Festival. Number 2, Bangus Festival. Number 3, Ati-Atihan Festival. Number 4, Sinulog Festival. Number 5, Mango Festival. Number 6, Dinagyang Festival. And number 7, Panagbenga Festival. And number 8, Pataraday Festival. Number 9 is the Mascara Festival. And number 10, the Tinalak Festival. Now, I want you to write your name, your grade level and section on your paper and pass it with your written works on Monday. And that is all for today. I hope that you have learned something from your new favorite school on the air through radio. So this has been your teacher broadcaster in MAPE, Raymar Rakosoptet of Kaanamongan National High School saying, be healthy and stay safe. Join me again next week as we explore the wonderful world of MAPE.